Hello, my name is Maurice Heerdink. This time I'd like to talk about changes. Now, there are works that I've made that were not, in the end, correct. That's a problem. It's something you have to decide. But after a while, you notice that there are things that don't work out. If we take, for instance, thinking. This is a work where I decided to completely redo the face and the neck because I felt it wasn't properly attached to the body. For the rest, the painting worked out rather nice, and it was kind of scary because it can go wrong, and it did go wrong at times. Now take this one. I started working on it and kept changing it. During the process there were moments I could have stopped, but I didn't, and I kept losing grip, and in the end there was nothing left to do as to regard it as a lost cause, and it had to be destroyed. These two works were bought by a man in Paris, and he asked me if I could do the second one much larger to fit the size of the other work. But then I had to copy it, and I know that classic painters, they sometimes did a work 3 times. I did one too, and then after that I decided I will never ever do that again. And believe me, I missed out on some serious offers. But it's take it or leave it, and I left the money. These works came back to me as collectors noticed that they were moisture damaged. I looked at them, and the first one was only moisture on the glass inside, so that was fixed very quickly. The other one, I had to redo certain parts, but it worked out okay. The reason I changed Universal Love 1999 was because of water damage. The culprit was a leaking boiler system, and while checking the works in my storage, I discovered that several had to be redone. While doing that, I decided to change a bit. But no, let me first tell you how this work came about. At times I think the life of a painter is rather boring, being locked up in a studio. But it's not always like that. The most popular work I've made is undoubtedly The Boy Next to the Window. And popularity can lead to strange things. So, was there a man who invited me for an interview about my upcoming exhibition for his new radio program. But I had to bring the boy along. I don't know if I said I don't do a dating service, but anyway, I never heard of that guy again. During the exhibition, there was a guy who was very eager to meet the model for a date. But something people seldom realize. The male nudes I paint are not portraits. And he was rather amazed that the model was a totally different character. And then there was a guy, a man who sent me a present for the boy, an antique coin, which I, of course, politely passed on to the model, who was rather surprised. Believe me, it's very strange when people fall in love with a work I have painted with this hand. Oh well, I take it as a compliment. Afterwards, I made this work with the model and the coin in his hand, while his other hand made the gesture of money. Hence the title Universal Love, anno 1999. While I was restoring this work, I felt that I was not completely satisfied with the work, and I started making a little change. I redid the hair and I changed the face, thereby creating a totally different character. And now the painting is called Universal Love, anno 2026. If you'd like to see more of me talking about my works, you can look at other episodes in the series, or have a look at the documentary Searching for Inspiration, in which I talk a bit about my career. Well, I say thank you and hope to see you soon. Bye.